Together we stand, and divided we fall. Hi guys, thank you for joining me on this journey. Today I would like to just touch upon the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus, and why I believe that they play an important role, and why we should be aware of them and what they do. So, you know, together they operate your nervous system and your endocrine system, which, you know, regulate your body temperature, thirst, appetite, you know, weight, breathing, heartbeat, emotions, you know, obviously all of that controls mindset, thoughts. It regulates sex drive, all sorts. Releases hormones into your body. So it plays a very important part of you. Controls your nervous system, which is your whole body. You're everywhere. Your nerves are connected throughout you. You can shut that off. So a very interesting video and footage where, you know, obviously they test this out on a bull and a cat. So, you know, they put a nanobot or microchip or whatever it is they insert into the hypothalamus of the bull and the cat. And then obviously, you know, what they do to a bull before they set it off to the matador is they enrage it by, you know, throwing sharp objects into it, sticking it with, you know, stabbing it with spears and all that kind of stuff, and get its aggression up. And then as it charges towards the matador, they said, right, we're going to see if we can control its emotions. Pressed a button, and you know the power of a charging bull, and it just stopped mid-run, full power, and just boom, and like it hit a wall. Shook its head in confusion, staggered a bit, dazed, as if to say, what the fuck, where am I, you know, what the hell is going on? Shut down, boom. And then showed you with the cat, docile, switched the button up, turned up its heartbeat and its rage, and it just became feral. Switch it off, back to docile. The perfect slave. You know, how can you rebel and how can you stand up for your rights if they can just switch off your emotions and your responses to it? You know, it's a scary thought, really, yeah? And this is, you know, I would like somebody to challenge me on all of this and say, you know, actually, you're pretty insane, really, because that would be a happier prospect for me if I was just insane and it was all just in my head. That would be good. But unfortunately, this is what I see. You know, this is, to me, quite obvious. So, you know, something that I just think we should be aware of. Possibilities. What if, you know, can you imagine a future where, you know, obviously they've got you locked down through codes and tags, and, you know, they're injecting you with whatever they want whenever they want, even though no virus has ever been isolated. And, you know, they bring jabs out all of the time, and you wonder how many people get sick and die because of these, you know, controlling population, manipulating them, getting them to conform and even act as part of the system in their policing of each other, you know, through fear. And separatism. And that's why the only way we can ever really move forward in any form of power and strength and true identity is through unity, and the key to unity is love, unconditional, you know, but you have to let down your fear and your distrust for that. It's tough, because it's scary, because it makes you vulnerable. But how vulnerable are you really? Look around you already at the world, you know, the toxins that are surrounding us, and it's not a very good society when you look at it from a broad perspective, is it? You know, there's lots of problems, lots of issues, and it's easy to find where they all come from. You know, you follow the money, don't you? Follow the power. And in today's capitalist society, that's quite easy to do, you know. So, but you know, that's just a control thing. At the end of the day, we have to come back to self, because, you know, we are the power, really. They're just the imagined power that they've put in the system, and so long as we conform to the system and abide by it and are part of it, then we perpetuate it. And that's why the only way we can step free is we have to let go of all of our barriers, and we have to let go of all of our wants and needs, and we have to take the value away from everything that doesn't need a value. You know, there's not an industry on the planet that we need, you know, and we don't need anywhere near the technology that we've got, and in the format that it is. You know, there's a much more friendly format out there that doesn't operate on these harmful, you know, vibrational waves that we're surrounding ourselves with. You know, look at your microwaves, which is just a common thing all over the world now. Look at the frequency that emits, and the radiation, you know, or is it gamma rays that puts out, you know. And when that heats your food, it heats it from inside out, and that stays within it, and then you put that food into your stomach, and, you know, it promotes cancer. It's the largest form of cancer in America now, you know. So you have to be aware of the harm that's all around and what you're doing, actions and consequences, thoughts. You know, what do you want for your future generations? What do you want for yourself? Think about phones operate on the same frequency as microwaves, and so do those earbuds that people wear. You know, it's like, think about that. So when that takes a direct signal, it's one in each ear. What's that doing to your brain? What's that doing to your hypothalmus? Because that's what it affects, and it destroys it, and it creates issues throughout your body, because obviously that's there to regulate your endocrine and your nervous system, which is everything, your glands, your hormones. You know, if you think that you think through your brain and your thoughts, you let your emotions go, and you'll see what you think. This is how they get people to react. 9/11, all of these atrocities, you know, belief systems, you know, it's all tapped into these systems. Boom, you know, give me the child and I will give you the man. I think Friedrich Nietzsche or somebody said that at some point. And that's because when we're born, you know, we spend the first 2 years of our life in delta mode, our brain. So essentially our eyes may be open. People are going gaga goo goo, you know, putting silly sounds in our brains, but we're experiencing life anyway in a dream state, you know, and we're associating things in the physical world, in this organic world, through our senses, and that creates emotional ties. And, you know, when we start seeing at the age of about 2, our brain is still in a mode, I think, of theta, whatever pronunciation, which is the mode, you know, where we want to speak to our ancestors, or, you know, find hidden informations that, or answers that were eluding us when we're in our organic state. It's a source of where we come from, you know, the Akashic realm, different names for it, or thought processes. Some people think there are whatever number of different levels, but you know, without knowing everything, you can never be sure. So, you know, I leave that to people who want to theorize and all that kind of stuff. But reality, we know that there are other realms and planes of existence, and I leave that open to you. You know, everybody has their truth of reality and perception, so you know, you can't show something intangible to somebody who doesn't understand it, so it's all good. But if you can be open to the possibility of it, you know. So anyway, that's the realm we operate on for, I think, until I'm not an expert, you know. I only know I take in information, and some sticks, some doesn't, a bit of a retard. But yeah, I think until we're about 10, we're just absorbing, and we go through different stages of, you know, awareness, and then we start to, you know, because we're because we're in a state where we need nurturing and love and care. This is why we're supposed to attach our thoughts and emotions to love, nurture, care, and then progress in a harmonious life. These are the skills that we should have been learning from, you know, our parents, and about nature and our surroundings, you know, because every animal on the planet needs to know its surroundings for survival and to understand them as much as possible. And obviously we've outstepped that because of technology and on a survival level, but on an organic and spiritual and need to evolve level, you know, we've seemed to have lost that in technology, and thinking that we're moving forwards, and it's really not moving forwards. It's entrapment and it's destruction. And the way to move forwards is love and acceptance, and drop your fear, you know, drop your wants and needs and necessities that you think that you have that you really don't have, and realize what the truths of true importance are. So what we need and what would take us forwards and help us evolve, you know, connection. We need the connection, you know. Without it, if we keep disconnecting and staying connected only through media and, you know, electronics, and, you know, we need to reach out to the people around us and support them and be supported by them, and for free, you know. Put no cost on anything, because cost only creates division and pressure and stress, and unnecessarily, because we have the provisions and the heart and the desire and, you know, the nature for everybody to be loved and cared for, and, you know, happy and in favourable circumstances for their health. But, you know, obviously we have to come to realizations about the truth about our surroundings and what's happening, and, you know, the diet that we're having and what effect it has on our bodies, and what we've been told by the narrative, and, you know, other things that are coming out. We don't have to believe things, we just have to be open to look at them and explore them, you know. And if you can't believe it, prove it wrong, you know. Look for what you can prove wrong, or what doesn't seem to make sense, you know, and question it and look and be open, you know. But you have to let go of fear and definitely wants and needs that are fake, and think about what industries we have that we actually need. And if we take industry away, that's the destruction stopped. You know, if we were to just have little communities that are self-sustainable and that are connected through, you know, fruit trees everywhere, you know, an abundance. You know, instead most of our land goes to unsustainable types of farming in an industrial way that are just destroying everything. You know, look at since the Industrial Revolution, and you know, belief systems. You know, look at how old belief systems are and how old we are and how old evidence of us being on this planet are. You know, and look at alternative thoughts or ideas that are out there and look to see what makes sense. You know, and what systems people theorize maybe that have been or could be that are sustainable, and give back. You know, if it doesn't give back, then obviously it doesn't work. If it's not really sustainable, then it doesn't work, and we shouldn't be pursuing it. We shouldn't be allowing it to be pursued, because it's obviously destructive. You know, plastics, people not having drinking water in this day and age. You know, it's like air pollution. Come on, guys. You know, if it's not screamingly obvious to everybody now, I don't know what it's going to take. You know, and I feel lost about it, because I think, well, what does it take to wake you up? What does it take to make you look around you and realise? There's such a fear of letting go of everything and finding out who you truly are. You know, you're so enmeshed in your organic body. A body that comes from the earth and goes back to the earth. You know, they make a huge industry out of death and put fear over it. You know, so everybody's afraid. And they feed off your energy. They feed off your collective energy that they keep doused in fear and confusion. And if only you could just glimpse what's available, you know, the world would change itself. Anyway, that's enough for now. Get emotional. Together we stand, and divided we fall.